There's a creepy satanic killer on the loose, and it's up to an awkward young FBI agent to use her neurodivergent powers to catch him. She's piecing together the cryptic puzzle all on her own. She don't need no captured cannibal helping her like some other female FBI agent. Get ready for a Nazi slow burn in Longlegs. Hello there, you hallucinates, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, one of my most anticipated movies of this year, we are reviewing Longlegs, directed by Oz Perkins, who's known for directing the films The Black Coat's Daughter, I Am the Pretty Thing That Live in the House, and Gretel and Hansel. Not only that, but he is the son of Anthony Perkins, who played the OG Norman Bates. We meet young FBI agent Lee Harker, played by Maika Monroe from It Follows. She's an awkward genius who we come to learn is almost semi-psychic and has a nose for tracking down killers. She's put on the case of hunting down serial killer Longlegs, who's been terrorizing families since the 60s. Turns out that somehow Longlegs gets into the mind of the father of any household, possesses him, makes him delete his entire family, then turning his murderous rage on himself. And somehow Longlegs does all this without even entering the home. However, he does leave a cryptic calling card, a satanic letter that no one can decode or decipher. But wouldn't you know it? Special Agent Harker is put on the case and she cracks the code pretty bloody quickly with her superpowers of Asperger's. The movie tries to tell us and show us how she cracked the code. I don't know, I'm pretty stupid. It all was a bit over my head. It all leads back to the Book of Revelation. I've never read it, so who knows? The deciphering the code has something to do with the number 13 and these girls' ages that are in these houses. I don't know, here, have a creepy scene with Longlegs. The killer Longlegs himself is super unsettling, skin-crawlingly uneasy, and a satanic worshipper. And he's played with absolute creepy perfection by the one and only Nicolas Cage, cosplaying as modern-day Mickey Rourke. Now the FBI have to work out how Longlegs is getting into the houses of these families, getting in their heads and making them do his dirty work. This movie is a very artistic slow burn of sterile shots. And it feels like old school filmmaking here, almost like you've been transported like watching a movie in the 90s. And this film obviously heavily paying homage to the crime thrillers of the time. And yes, if you're paying attention with like the costumes, the cars and the technology and the surroundings, and of course a few cheeky hidden pictures of Bill Clinton in the bureau, you can tell that this film is based in the 90s. But what I liked about it, it wasn't heavy-handed with its pop culture references or needle drops per se. It was just a matter of fact, it was the 90s, that was it. We also learned that perhaps there's a reason that Special Agent Harker knows kind of the workings or understands the workings of Longlegs himself, because their paths may have crossed before. And if you have a fear of pediophobia, to clarify, that's the debilitating fear of dolls, then maybe sit this one out. Everything in this film feels slightly detached from reality, and no one really acts like a normal human being in this film, obviously being an artistic choice. It almost has a nightmarish quality to it, and it's doing its best to be a mashup of Zodiac and Seven. And of course, we do find out what Longlegs' plan was all along with some exposition dumping in the climax. And of course, there's to be expected a little twisty twist! However, when you get the reveal of Longlegs' plan, some of you may go, yeah, fair enough, that sounds like a satanic worshipping psychopath would do, but others will be very disappointed. I'm, however, in the middle with this one. If you couldn't gather, Longlegs is a satanic worshipper. And obviously his plan is to claim as many souls for good old Louis downstairs. But although his plan was a little bit weird and obscure and may have some hints of supernatural qualities to it, it kind of checks out for me something that a character like that would probably do. And you don't even have to look at his plan as being supernatural per se. I don't want to spoil the ending or about the plan or anything like that, but I will mention spheres. Some people will look at those as supernatural, other people will look at they're filled with certain other things. However, the people that will be disappointed with the reveal or the ending in this film are probably the kind of people who like modern horror. You know, the mouth breathers that really like The Nun. Yes, no CGI Bukkake party for you. There also is some shocking, jolting moments that will give you a bit of a jump scare. And this film does my favourite thing of having the character on screen not noticing something going on in the background very creepily. It just drives home that unnerving factor. And the whole film was pretty much all filled with tension. In saying all this though, the absolute best on ground, the star of the movie is none other than Nicolas Cage, who is also the producer of this film. He is absolutely unrecognisable under all those prosthetics. However, you do know that it's Nicolas Cage when he does a few cagey moments, if you know what I mean. And honestly, I've got to say, this is the creepiest I think we've ever seen him on screen. And that's fucking saying something. This film was a bit more artistic than I was expecting. However, still worth the watch. However, I'm still kind of stuck on how Special Agent Harker made the leap to figuring out Longlegs' plan. I'm an idiot, I know, and like I aforementioned, I haven't read Revelation. But it all felt like it was pretty quick and went a little bit over my head. But anyway, write down in the comments below if you know how she got to where she got. As soon as the credits started rolling at the end of this film, it dawned upon me that I think this may become an instant cult classic. It will, without a doubt, divide people. Yes, there was a lot of hype revolving around this film. When I heard about this movie coming out, like something sort of occultish, crime thriller, whodunit, I was all in. However, I didn't listen to any early reviewers coming out because that's Access Media and they're all full of shit. And unfortunately, I think it's going to do damage to this film. Because all the early reviewers were raving about it's the most scariest thing they've ever seen. People were throwing up and passing out in the aisles. Fucking bullshit. I didn't mind it. I really didn't at all. However, I will be watching this a few more times to sort of get my head around it. Worth a watch? Yes. Worth the hype? Fuck no. Anyway guys, that's my cheeky little review of Longlegs. I didn't mind it. Write down below if you've seen it. What are your thoughts on it? But more importantly, what is your favourite 90s crime thriller? And of course, if you've made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly. And I'll see you back here next week for the next review, but until then, stay spooky, kids.